just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now.
Welcome to the HVAC God live show where we talk about all things HVAC that no one else is talking about. Tonight, we were going to be joined by a guest, but he is not here. He did not make it. This is like the fourth time this has happened to me. And things happen. Hopefully everything's okay on his end, but the show will go on. This used to be how we did it anyway. It used to just be me. So tonight's just me. We're flying solo, and we're going to be taking your questions live in the chat. So say hello. We'll go ahead and say hello to Bob, who was here early, and hello to Gary. Good to see you guys. Again, if you are joining us tonight, first time or not your first time, please feel free to say hello in the chat. That said, I've got a loaded show. Despite our guests not being here, I'm going to go ahead and just roll like we normally would. I've got a lot of cool things to show you guys tonight. I've got a story I'm going to be pulling up. And my favorite part of tonight is I've actually got some really cool clips that I'm going to show you guys. In the meantime, let's take care of a few housekeeping matters. The first thing is our live show. This is it. This is the last night that we will be streaming to the old YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed to the new channel, you just won't see this fat face live. You won't see, let's see, I see messages coming in from Louie. Louie, if you can see this, or Luis, I'm not sure. I was hoping to meet with you and find out how to say your name correctly. If you can see this, I sent you the link on Instagram. So anyway, so this is the last night that you will see this face live on the old channel. So we're moving everything to the HVAC God live show channel. If you search it and you can't find it, it's still pretty small, so it's not showing up on all of the searches, I guess. But if you go to our homepage and scroll to the bottom, it's right there. You'll be able to subscribe to the new channel. It's called HVAC God Live Show. And make sure you're there because this is it. This is the last night we will be streaming to the HVAC God for Homeowners YouTube channel. We're doing that for a couple different reasons. Doing it to help the algorithm so that way we show up better. But also we're doing it so that the show has its own home. We can bring on different guests. It's not all the content won't just be for homeowners, although a lot of it still will be. Hopefully, if you're getting anything out of our show, I don't plan on making any huge changes. We just found as we continue to bring on guests that there were times when our content wasn't just for homeowners. So again, this live show is going to have its own home. Make sure you're subscribed there. The next thing is next week we will have a really cool guest. When the A2L refrigerants first started coming out, when they were launching, this guy was a a big he was one of the pioneers, if you will. He was one of the guys that it looks like Luis. Is it Luis? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me in the camera. He's not giving me a thumbs up, so you might not be able to hear me yet. Oh yeah, you can hear me. Okay. Is it Luis or Louie? How do I say it? Is it Luis? Is it the first one? Okay. All right, Luis. Okay. All right. I'm gonna bring you on in just a second, man. So Luis is here. He just had a little trouble logging in there, so we're gonna bring him on in just a second. Let me get our chat off of here and switch screens. But let me just go ahead and finish my thought there. And that is next week, the guest that we're going to have on is one of the first people that I started following with the new refrigerants, who was basically giving us all the info. He's a really smart guy. He goes all around the country training folks on how to properly handle these new refrigerants and things like that. And I can't think of anyone better to have on our show to go over that topic. So he'll be our guest next week. We'll be here live only on the new channel, only on the HVAC Guide live show. So make sure you're subscribed to there. And then finally, please like and share this. It helps us out so much if you like and share us on wherever you're watching my fat face right now. Like and share it. And also those of you that, if you don't get to join us live, we, in addition to posting all of these shows to the new channel, HVAC Guide live show, new channel, we're also very recently, within the last couple weeks, we are now showing up on all your favorite podcast platforms. So all of the recordings we're moving to audio, format, and posting them to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all your favorite podcast locations. You can listen to all of our shows there. So that said, let's take a moment, pay the bills, and thank the sponsor of tonight's episode.
Daikin Fit is so quiet, you'll definitely notice by not really noticing at all. Save space, save energy, save interruptions. Enjoy the game-changing efficiency of the Daikin Fit. It cools, dehumidifies, and heats so efficiently, it even keeps your energy bills comfortable. Daikin Fit.
Okay, I'm trying to get this fixed, guys. Bear with me. I think I can hear you now, finally.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh, what's going on, bud? I don't know what happened, but I'm glad we were able to straighten it out. So first, I want to say thank you for inviting me to the podcast. So thank you.
Yeah,
everybody.
Man. I it's just embarrassing because I normally have all this stuff straight. I do sound checks and all that stuff before we actually start the show. And also I normally introduce you properly. I normally have a nice introduction and dealing with all this, I'm not going to be able to do that, I guess. So anyway, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. If I guess we're just freaking winging it tonight. Why don't you introduce yourself? I see. Are you in the city? I see you're. I'm
over here in New York City, baby. That's right, in the heart of New York, which is Manhattan. That's right. I'm over here. You guys got in front of where the Knicks play at. Where's it? Penn Station. That's behind me right there.
Wow.
I'm with the truck too, Louie the Boiler Man truck. As you can see, it's all about promotion.
That is really cool. Very cool.
I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it.
So tell me, I tell you, I've never worked in any cities. I think the biggest city I've ever worked in was we used to work in the historic district of Richmond, Virginia years ago. And that's nothing compared to working across the street from the Knicks. So what is that like? I mean, can you find parking? I mean, what?
Parking is definitely not easy to find, but when you look, you will find. Listen, it may cost you because you got to pay to play, but you'll find. I mean, it's not easy, but if you have a commercial vehicle, it does make life a lot easier because they started to put what's called a tax to get rid of people to come into the cities. And what it is basically discouraging people not to come in because you're going to pay a high tax. So what they want is they want less cars. Obviously, I don't know how that's going to happen when you got contractors, HVAC contractors, plumbers, electricians, they got to come in. But they are charging a tax now. They never used to do this, so they're doing that now, imposing a tax. So try to discourage people from coming in. And there's a lot less parking spaces because, you know, restaurants got that little cubicles they make now on the street. There's also bike racks and there's a whole bunch of shit out here that it just makes it harder and harder and harder now to get parking. But you're going to pay. If you want parking, you will find it, but you're going to pay.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I've never been to the Big Apple, but I always have, you know, my wife's been there. She's told me how big it is. I mean, it's obviously big. I could see the background there.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful city. But you know what I mean, if anybody wants to come here, I would tell you guys to come check it out. Just make sure you have a nice fat wallet because things are expensive here. Unfortunately, it's just the way they are. But aside from that, it's a beautiful city. There's a lot of history, a lot of great things out here, and a lot of culture. And especially if you're a foodie, you'll like a lot of good food out here. There's a lot of great food out here.
I like it. Very cool. Well, so I guess let's back up a little bit and tell us about. I know you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube. Maybe, you know, drop all your handles and all that good stuff. And what will they find on your? Because I watched some of your stuff. It's very unique. It's very different from just about anything else out there. So feel free to kind of plug your channels and stuff.
Well, anybody who's watching out there, I want to let you guys know I go by Louie the Boiler Man, the HVAC Poppy. That's right, guys. So yeah, I am a little unique and I like to be different. I don't want to be like anybody else, and that's what makes you stand out. So guys, I'm very big on marketing and advertising. You guys can see on my truck. And yeah, I got to a YouTube space right after I've been doing it before the pandemic, but I really started doing it after the pandemic really hard. And and I always wanted to do art. Now we got something called social media that we can integrate art in what we do. I mean, think of it this way. Remember years ago when I was a kid, when you were a kid, I was a kid, that, listen, when you go to a party or you go to a church, you're not going to go there with sneakers. But now, in this day, you can go to a party, you go to church wearing a suit and tie with sneakers. It's trendy, it's cool, it's acceptable. So this is something I've been wanting to do, arts and crafts from years ago, because if I tell you I wanted to become a plumber or a boiler man when I was younger, I'd be lying to you. I just saw an opportunity and I needed a way out. And I said, you know, let me join this. My friends were telling me, oh, join the trade. The trade's the way to go. And sure enough, that was the best thing I've ever done in my life. However, I was saying, well, what can I do to make it cool, make it sexier, make it appealing to the young audience? Because the young audience is the people behind me with the young guys or the young ladies, young women that want to get in. And on show them, listen, guys, it's nothing wrong being yourself. It's nothing wrong being cool. You know what I mean? Everybody used to make fun of the nerd. I used to like the nerd. You know, I get along with everybody. And I like that. I'm a people person. I like to go along with everybody. And I like to be me. And I was never going to change being me. So what makes me unique is that I like using music and art into what I do. I enjoy what I do. So I don't have a problem being myself, joking around, changing my color to blonde, because people be like, the blonde works, it makes me feel young. Fuck it. I'm 44 years old. If it gives me 10 years off me, it gives me another 10 years, why not? Why not use it? So I enjoy it, and I always like to teach. I always had to think about teaching. The only thing is I like a boot camp style. I'm a little old school. People teach me, listen, get your ass up, just do it, and that's just the way it worked for me. I know a lot of people don't like that, but it works. And I'm a no bullshit type of guy. Guys, listen, I don't got time for the bullshit. I don't got time for this. You want to make money? I'm going to show you how to make money. You want to learn? I'm going to show you how to learn. You want to learn HVAC and plumbing, specifically HVAC and boilers? That's what I do. That's what I'm a specialist at, and that's what I like to do. But I make it unique because I make it fun, because I feel like plumbing itself is like an old man's job, what people say it's like a stigma, and I want to change that. Everybody thinks about the big belly, the butt crack, and so on and so forth. I'm like, nah, that shit is so far from the truth. But you got to show this. So now people say, oh, how do we get, everybody complain about, oh, the youth is not getting into the trades. Well, you can't blame them. You can't blame them because they get these tech jobs that started them at 80, 100 grand a year, and they start them at 35, and they're going to break their ass. But if we make it fun, make it sexy, and show them there's an opportunity that, listen, you could be whatever you want. You could be a plumber. You could be a plumber, owner of a plumbing shop. You could be an engineer. You could fucking go to NASA doing plumbing. You need plumbing. Everybody got to shit. Everybody got to take a shower. Everybody's about hygiene, especially now. Hygiene is a big thing, especially after the pandemic. You need a plumber. There's no questions asked. You need that. You need heating and air conditioning. Listen, think about this heat wave we're just having right now with the last couple of weeks. Think of if you had no AC. man, that shit would be miserable. So these are things that, but we as leaders, we as OGs, we as people that have experience, got to make it fun and sexy and appealing to the young audience. That is how you're going to get these young guys to say, or young ladies say, you know what, I want to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you can make great money and you be successful in whatever it is you want to do. It is an open lane. And I saw open lane in what I do, which is HVAC and plumbing, because I don't see nobody doing fucking blonde hair. I don't see nobody saying like, let's do all kinds of cool stuff. Let's do, and meeting cool people and great people. I love meeting people that are totally different from me. That's what makes them unique, and I love it. I don't want different. Think about it, we all had to live in a world of the same shit, same people, same color, same everything. It'll be a boring ass world. So for me, I think everybody should be unique, and everybody are unique in their own way, and I love it. And I like being myself, and I like being something that I don't have to pretend something I'm not. And in the corporate world, it's not for me. But I do want to tell everybody, now we're in a digital age that everything's about digital, about marketing. So right now, I don't care if you're selling a bowl of shit, a bag of shit. And bag of shit, you can sell it because they sell as fertilizer. But my point is, you need to do marketing. So what I want to say with that is, doesn't matter how good you are, if people don't know you, it does not mean anything. So now you have the choice, and you the one who could take charge of your marketing, how you want to see yourself out there. And I've been doing that. So right now, I've been pushing the YouTube, I'm in the Instagram, and I'm building a digital billboard. I have another digital billboard truck. You see this right behind me? It's the billboard. It's about promotion. And I love promoting myself. I love pushing out there. And now I want to show the other businesses that if you need help, I can help you, and we can do it together, and I can show you how to do it. I've been doing this for a while. It works. I'm telling you guys, it works. And the thing is about social media is a double-edged sword, because it could go well for you, it could go bad for you. I've been critiqued before. People, you listen, you didn't do this exactly the way I would do it. You didn't do it this way. Why you do it this way? Because you don't understand business. A lot of people out there think, oh, if I were you, I would do it this way. I was not gonna tell them, listen, I don't give a fuck if you do it that way. There's 20 minutes way to do it. I just choose to do it my way. But your way works. Your way is fine too. But what I'm trying to say is, instead of critiquing, but people do critique, and that's okay. That's what makes you better. I got rough skin. Listen, you call me a fat fuck, you call me a fat boy, it don't matter to me. I don't care. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. You believe me, it's gonna hurt my feelings. But I say this because a lot of people don't feel that way on the other side of the camera. And so I wanna be their voice and show them, guys, you know what? Not everybody has that tough skin and that self-esteem to say, they don't want to take the heat. I take the heat for you, because I don't like people bullying other people. You bully me, you can bully me all day. But you're not going to bully me because just because I made a mistake. And that's the problem with social media. People always put the best. They don't put the worst. They don't put them like, oh, I had a bad day, I made a mistake. I've done it. I've honestly put it out there on social media. Listen, I fucked up. My guys fucked up, and I have to honor it. But that's how you build trust. So if you use social media for what it's worth, you're building trust, you're networking, you're meeting great people. Listen, and the rest, God does good, beautiful things, and the rest is history. And things are made to happen for you, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons.
I like it. This is probably the most unique live show I've ever done. Not only with the hiccups to start, but I can hear sirens in the background. I mean, you can see the New York nightlife in the background, and then you're over here dropping the heat. So
yes, man.
I like it.
I feel great when people tell me, yo, are you the HVAC Poppy? You're Louie the Boiler Man? Like, yeah. And I do ask, how you find me? Bro, I was looking over something with plumbing, you fucking come up. And they tell me, yo, and I love their hair. And it's just, because you make it fun. When you give energy and you project it out there, it's just, you feel it. When you feel somebody, you feel he's full of it and he's not. That's the only way I can make anybody out there listening understand. And I love great people. I mean, I can tell you that the social media world has opened doors for me, and also opened doors to meet great, beautiful people, positive people, and people that you learn from. I learn from things every single day. Yeah, I got 20-something years plus experience on my belt. I may not look like it, but I do. But what I mean, I like, even like you, I meeting you, and you even taking the time to reach out to me. That means a lot to me. Honestly, it does. People may think it's bullshit, but no, honestly, I do, because you could have got somebody else could call me, but the fact you took the time and I'm able to meet you, to me that means a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I feel the same way. I'm looking at your YouTube channel. I don't know if you can. I don't know what you can see on your end, because it almost kind of looks like you might be on your phone. But can you see, like, when I
when you do it? Yeah, I can see it when you do it. Yes.
Oh, you could. Okay. Yeah, you have some very unique branding as well. Like, your thumbnails are different than, it's just it's just not your average HVAC channel, you got some awesome thumbnails, and then you click it, and then there you are, bringing the energy. It's just it's definitely unique,
You got to be different nowadays. You got to be, because if you put everything else aside, I mean, listen, let's be honest. We're in the HVAC and plumbing, and plumbing is plumbing. HVAC is HVAC. As long as you understand it and you get to learn it, the basics are the same. But it's how you apply it. Also, business, because there's a lot of guys that are great at what they do, but they don't have no good people skills or business skills or understand how to handle certain situations. It's very simple to say, "Oh, I can fix this," but when you have a customer up your back, up your ass, and how do you do this? What are you doing this? What is all this other shit? Like, you gotta learn how to handle the situation, how to diffuse the situation, how do you make a negative into a positive, how do you do things to to make it on your favor, not to lose the deal, because there's a lot of competition out there. Here in New York, especially, there's a lot of competition. But I always tell them, listen, there's only one guy, and there's only one Louie the Boiler Man right here in New York, and it's right here, HVAC Poppy. And listen, don't take my word for it. I don't want to tell you. I want to earn your business. Check out my channel, check out my videos, and you tell me what you guys think. If you think I don't deserve the job, that's fine. We're still friends. But I assure you that I'm good. And I'm good at what I do because I invested time, money, educated myself, and experience. But I tell the same thing to anybody else. Did you tell your kids to go to school to be a dummy? Well, I didn't go to school to be a dummy, so that's why I'm not the cheapest. Because when people do ask me, I had a guy that reached out to me from Domino's Pizza. And I told him, listen, I started hearing he wants all these problems resolved. Beautiful. But when it comes down to the money, people talking about, oh, well, we paid another guy. Listen, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to tell you right now, before we even take a step further. And I'm going to tell you this. And what I'm going to tell you is very simple. If you're looking for the cheapest guy, I'm not the fucking cheapest guy. You're looking for somebody to resolve the problem and make sure it works, that's fine. And I'll give you a deal, even better. If I don't fix the problem, you don't pay me $1. Now, as a businessman, do you think that I'm going to go to somebody's place of business, house, and not make $1 a penny? You're absolutely wrong. Absolutely not. I don't work for free, and I don't think anybody should work for free. But if you're good at what you do, and you're confident in what you do, and you know what the fuck you're doing, you can speak like that. But it took me years to have that confidence in me to speak like that. It didn't happen overnight. But I'm very confident in what I do because I put the time and effort to get where I'm at now. But it took years. That's why I want people to understand. It wasn't something that was overnight. It was something that happened years. Because people say, oh, you cocky. It's not cocky. I like what I do. I'm good at what I do. And I'm not going to be compensated. I'm a doctor at what I do. Oh, why does the doctor get paid a lot of fucking money? I can't. Listen, if the doctor can't use the bathroom, he can't shit. If he can't clean his hands, he can't do the surgery. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm just as important. And even the garbage guys, the guys that pick up the garbage, they're just as important. Because if they don't pick up the garbage, we got rats, and we got an issue. We got rodents, we got infestation, we got a lot of shit that goes on with it. So guys, what I'm trying to say is don't undermine people. People have jobs that we don't think they're valuable. They're just as valuable. Somebody got to somebody got to pick up the shit. Somebody got to pick up the garbage, and somebody got to do the dirty work that nobody else want to do. So I think everybody's just as important.
You mentioned a moment ago that some doors have opened since you started doing YouTube. Can you share some of those doors? Have anything that's opened up that I'm sure you probably got some stuff that you can't share, maybe behind the scenes, but anything that you can share with us?
Yeah. I got business from it. Just that's one off the start business. People see my work, Louie, I want you to do it. I saw you, you're local, you're the guy. I can't believe I'm talking to Louie the Boiler Man on the phone. I'm like, I appreciate that. And how do you find me? I just Googled you. Because if you Google Louie the Boiler Man, is that guy who spelled, you'll find me. You Google, I come and Google, I'm relevant. But it's, it's a reason why I put my name Louie the Boiler Man, not only because it's what I do, but also it makes sense if I have a product. But he maybe in Florida they use boilers, but here in New York we use a lot of boilers. And it's a very unique business, even though it's part of plumbing. But a lot of plumbers don't do boilers. They do the plumbing, but they don't do the heating side of it. Open doors mean I got to meet people that reached out to help me as far as like valuable information that I wasn't 100% sure about something. They reached out to me. But at the end goal, as far as a businessman, I'll tell anybody, it has made me plenty of business. And the reason why I say YouTube specifically, because when people are looking for a plumber specifically, they're not going to Instagram. Instagram is more like like a portfolio. People see it and they're like having fun. But when people are looking for a plumber, electrician, or roofer, they're going to Google and they're going to YouTube. Google and YouTube, I'm sure everybody knows, is the biggest platform there is as far as like searching, because people forget that Google and YouTube is a search engine. It's not a social media but people think it's social media. As long as you understand the difference, you understand how it works, it'll work in your favor. And of course, guys are my age, 44, maybe over, a little older, a little younger, they're in the trades. They're looking at YouTube to find the problem and the solution. So that's what I say. For me, open doors because I have gotten a lot of business from it. Not one, two, many. From Instagram, I got business, but not as much. But YouTube has opened the doors for me because it shows the work. Remember, I tell everybody, you're earning trust. You want them to trust you, and you want to trust them. But more importantly, they want to see your work. We're in a digital world. People want to see you. They don't want to take your word for it. You could be how many people have read a resume I went to? If I tell you the resumes I've gotten from people, they look like they went to Harvard. They went to the Harvard School of Plumbing. I'm like, bro, you know more than me. What the fuck do I know? I only got 27 years of experience. I don't know shit. And I ask them questions. They're like, I don't know. Well, then, Papa, you missed that class. I don't know what to tell you. But resume doesn't mean anything anymore, for me at least. It doesn't. What shows me is your drive, your dedication, but most importantly, your experience. How I'm gonna know that? All right, Papa. You know that day you go to the job and you fill out the resume, the application. Fuck that. I'm gonna tell you the way I'm gonna do it. And if you like it, great. If you don't like, I don't care. We're gonna go work together. Here's the wrenches, or here's your tools. Go get your tools, and I'm gonna watch you. Go do it. You want $40, $50 an hour, whatever the hell it is, then do it. No problem. For me, it's worth paying the $40, $50 an hour. If the guy knows what he's doing, he gets the job done. He's making me money. I'm making him money because I gotta get paid in order to pay him. I don't have a problem paying him. People just are so into like, oh, that's too much money. What do you care paying that person as long as that person making you a profit? I don't give it to $100, $200, $300, $1 million. If you paying him $1 million, he's turning you a profit of $5 million. What does it matter to you? So that is bullshit in my eyes. I just think that, listen, it's either you got it or you don't. If you can solve the problem and you're good at it, you should be compensated. I don't think you should wait 5 years like the union. That's why I don't like the union, me personally. I feel like the union just caps you. When you work on your own, the sky's the limit. That's why I left the union years ago. Not because they treated me bad. They were great to me. They didn't want me to leave. But I also know that I reached a certain point that I can't go any further than that. There's only 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And there's so many hours you could do of overtime before they said you drop dead, you're tired. So I said, I want to take it upon myself, and I want to have control of my own destiny. And that's why I'm able to do what I do. Because if I lived in a corporate world, or I was in a corporate world doing plumbing, and, oh, you can't paint your hair blonde. You can't go over there and say wepa. You can't show and teach people because you're taking the work away from us. No, I think that's an ignorant way of thinking. Why don't I teach the next guy to help her, and he learns, he becomes a mechanic. Now we got an extra mechanic. I don't want to help her. I want a mechanic. And also, he makes my life easier. I don't have a problem passing the torch. Why not? Somebody had to do it for me. Why can't I do it for somebody else? And I think that's super important. That old man fashion of way of he's stealing my job, that shit is so ignorant to me. But I'm glad I'm part of showing that, guys, you could do things differently and it could work. You got to do what works for you.
Have you, do you have any horror stories you can share with us? I'm sure you got some interesting ones up there in New York.
I got plenty of them. Which one you want to hear? The one that didn't pay me? The one that had to scream at the guy and get into an argument? The one that the police had to come over and defuse the argument? I mean, I got a shitloads of them. I mean, I can tell you one right now. Let's see, how many I got? I'm trying to think of one. So I went to this one. This is a funny one. So I went to this one job when I first started, and I went to the Bronx. So I go to the Bronx, go to this job, and it's just, I was a helper. So I went with the mechanic. His name is Bob. And, yo, Bob, what are we doing over here? Oh, we got to check something. But something looked funny about this house. It was like a 2-3 family house. So I'm like, all right. But I noticed after something that I'm like, yo, why are the windows covered in wood and they painted black? I'm like, all right, that's weird. But I go to the side of the door. I knock on the door. Yo, bro, we here to, go in the hood. So you got to be like, yo, Papa, we over here. We here to fix the fucking boiler. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, no problem. Come in. I open up the door. There's a chicken. There's a turtle. There's like a bunch of weird animals. And then he opens the back, like a back door, and there's like chickens and roosters. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? But I didn't put two and two together. So I go down the basement. And I go to the basement, and I go right to the boiler room, and my man, Bob, he rested in peace, he passed away. But he was like, yo, Louie, you see that? I'm like, Bob, what the fuck? We just get this shit done, man. Get the hell out of here. He's like, no, you see that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He closes the door, beep, and I look at the cross. Bro, there's like a chair full of skeletons. So what I didn't realize that, and then we go to the boiler room, there's like empty turtle shells, and there's upside down roosters and dead animals I didn't pay attention to. So what it was is people doing ritual like Santeria and shit like that. And I didn't put two and two together. And I'm like, and this guy tells me, yo, we packing this shell, we get the hell out of here. But we haven't finished. No, we're getting out of here. So I close the door. I'm like, yo, you're right. He's like, yo, somebody's doing some fucking worship shit. I don't know. But all I know that I started seeing all kinds of crazy shit. And the guy was cool. The guy opened the door. He was like, He wearing like a robe, but he didn't look. He looked normal to me. So and the guys like, yo, where you guys going? No, we gotta go, Papa. We gotta go. They're like, you didn't fix the heat. I'm like, no, call the office. We gotta go. And I close the door. Yo, bro, what happened? He's like, yo, bro, I don't know what they're doing there, but I'm not getting fucking. These guys look like they're about to cut our fingers and put it upside down. Okay, you know, like they did in Beetlejuice with to make the head a little smaller. I'm like, nah, we ain't doing that, bro.
That's funny.
I was like,
that is funny.
I didn't put 2 to 2 together. I was like, what the fuck is this? That was the first time and the last time I received something like that, but it was definitely something crazy. I can tell you another one. I went to East New York in Brooklyn. So I go into the hood, and these guys, I don't know what they're doing. They're doing dirt. I mean, the owner of the house don't even go over there. He didn't want nothing to be a part of it. He told me, listen, I have to legally give him heat. Can you send some? He tells my boss at the time, can you send somebody to go over there? And then Frank tells me, Louie, you mind going over there? Because I hate to say it, but at that time, I was the only minority, only Spanish, the only one with color. All the other guys who work with me, they're all Irish, Italian, German, they got blue eyes. So the guys in the hood, they think they're cops. And they won't open the door. So he asked me, Louie, you do me a solid? I'm like, yeah, fuck, I don't care. You pay me, so I'm going. So I get out there, and the guy knocked on the door, and I tell the guy, listen, my boss sent me over here, I got to fix the heat. And he's telling me, he's giving me like the runaround. I said, all right, Papa, listen, I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't give a shit if you got heat or not. I'll be honest with you. You really want to know the truth? I really don't care. All I know, my boss is going to pay me regardless, so I'm here to fix the heat. So I think it's your best interest to fix the heat because once I leave here, I want to tell them, I want to make sure nobody comes back to fix the heat. They had that little shutter. They closed the door. They had like a little meeting. They open it up. They're like, all right, Bobby, we need you. We need you. Come inside. I'm like, I go inside. Bro, these guys got drugs and dogs and all kinds of shit over their table. Listen, I don't care what you do. I'm not here for that. Just move this fucking shit to the side. Move all this crap to the side, and I'll handle my business. And you know what? They took care of me. They took care of me. It's like, Bobby, we need the heat, but you know what's going on here. So listen, I'm not here for that. The cops are going to take care of that. I don't give a fuck. Right now, just thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. And listen, as long as we got the heat working, that's it. The landlord's happy. You're happy. Everybody's happy.
Have you, you're in New York there. Have you ran into anybody famous? Have you done any work for anyone famous?
But I'm saying, say that one more time.
Hey, you tell those people on the New York City streets that you're on the HVAC Guide live show and they need to quiet down over there.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, if you can hear me, I'm on a podcast right now. You guys need to shut up.
No, I asked, being that you work in New York, have you ever worked for anybody or bumped into anybody famous?
Famous? Several. I'm trying to think of one recently. I bumped into, it's a rapper, like 50 Cent is one of them. What's the other one? A lot of rappers. I like music, I like rap, so I'm into rappers. But I bumped into a few people, but rappers, as far as a rapper, like 50 Cent was one of them. I'm trying to think what's the other one.
Did you do work for 50 Cent?
No, I never done any work for them. But I done. I'm trying to think of the other rapper. I can't even think of his name right now. But 50 Cent is one of them. He's very popular around here, so I see him around. Every once in a while, you see Adam Sandler around here. He's from New York, so you see him around here. I see him there a few times. I'm trying to think of this one. We did one, but he's more of like he works in a television show. But yeah, actually, like people say when you meet famous people, sometimes you don't even know them. You don't even notice. I've seen Jennifer Lopez a couple of times a few years ago. I don't even pay attention. The guy from the Potter, that little guy with the glasses, that guy, I've seen him before. He's pretty cool. The people that you think is cool is not cool. And the people that you least think of, they're really cool and genuine. Just chill. They're really just nonchalant. I like it. You know what I mean? Like it's, even me. People tell me, not many times, but a handful of people are like, yo, you're that guy that I saw on YouTube. You do plumbing, right? I'm like, yeah. How do you know? He's like, I follow you. But you know what? But it feels good. I'll be honest with you. It feels good because it shows that it works. That's what I like about it. It shows that it works. I put the work and the grind in. And I like the people that support me. Because when you have something in common, to most people, to a celebrity, that's a big deal. I'm just a plumber. I'm just an HVAC guy. But when they see me and they appreciate what I do and they support me, to me, that means a lot. And I take the time and I make the effort to speak to them, get to know them, and talk to them. I can't even tell you how many times I've been with my wife and she tells me, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. And she fucking plays around with me. She's like, oh, look, it's me, Louie. I'm like, yes, I know. But it feels, good.
Have you heard that story of the guy that cuts grass that Rick Ross had him fly all the way
Yeah.
7 states away?
Yes, I was just. It's funny because I have an associate that he does landscaping, and I was just talking about him about that yesterday. That's funny you bring that up.
Yeah. I just wonder if you're going to keep one and then all of a sudden, somebody famous is going to be like, hey, I've got this place down in Florida and I want you. I don't want anybody else,
Listen, I'll be more than happy and glad to do it. I'll be more than happy and I would love to do that. Because I've done it already. Not necessarily to somebody famous, but I did for somebody that told me, listen, I live in Philly. Can you do it in Philly? Because I don't trust anybody and I like the way you do work. Not that many, but I have a handful. I did it for people that have second homes in upstate New York or in the Hamptons. What else? I've done it even in Jersey. I don't do work in business, but I tell them I'm up front. Like, listen, I'm not licensed and insured in Jersey. If you want me to, I'll still come. It's just that I got to be honest. If you're looking for something that I need a permit, I don't have anybody specific. I know a handful, but certain parts of Jersey, I just don't know anybody. And they're like, no, it don't have to be filed up. I want you to fix it because we asked a few people and they can't do it, or the guys don't have no experience or just don't want to do it. So I go out there and I have no problems doing it. I did it funny. I did one 2 years ago, and I went there. I was in Jersey City, and my truck fucking broke down. So all the money that I made, I had to put it back in the tow truck. But that was an experience. Hey, you know what? But the lady was really appreciative. She was really nice. She found me on YouTube, and she told me, I want you. I found other people, but something about you I like, and I want you to come. And she was willing to pay the extra money for me to come over. And I was fine. I went, and I had a great time. It wasn't fun at the end because I had to pay a tow truck, and I got home at 4 o'clock in the morning. But, hey, what are you going to do? Shit happens. But the fact that she was smiling, the fact that she appreciated me, and the fact that she appreciated me as a contractor, a plumber, an HVAC guy, that meant a lot to me. To me, it meant a lot because, that was the kind of like the beginning of my humble, at the beginning for me when people started reaching out to me to get to know me. And it's like, just for them to reach out to me to tell me they wanted to pay me more because they want me specifically to come instead of the guy locally, that meant a lot to me. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
What's the biggest mistake you see homeowners making when they're either hiring or, looking for someone to fix their air conditioner or heating?
The biggest mistake as far as like people hiring, is that what you mean? Like as far as the customers hiring us as contractors?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The biggest mistake I feel they do, well, it's several of them, but the biggest one I feel they don't read. That's number one. They're smart, they're engineers, they're teachers, and all this other shit, but they don't read. So to me, I think they're not that smart in that department. They assume, and assume is not, and that's on both ends. But they don't read because you give them a contract, they don't read. They're looking at just at numbers, and they want to go for the cheapest. And I'm like, listen, I cannot do it for. It's like saying telling somebody $1,500, and oh no, you do it for $500, $400. I'm like, how is that possible? If they're reasonable, tell me, listen, I don't want 15, you do 14, 14.50, something, lower stuff, we work something out with the tax. Okay, fine. But some people are just unrealistic, and they look at it just at numbers. All right, just look at numbers. They end up calling somebody else. They call me or they call the next guy. Oh, why should I pay you more money? But he's like, listen, I don't care. The guy screwed. I got to fix his screw ups, and I got to make a profit. And I'm in business to make a profit. I'm sorry. I'm not here to hear your sob stories. I don't hear about your wife kicking you out the house. I really don't care. I don't give a damn because that's the business part of it. Personally, I'm cool. Yeah, we're good. But when it comes to business, listen, you call me for a reason to give you a solution, right? And my solution is I fix the solution. You're gonna pay me, and you're gonna pay me what I feel I'm worth. If you don't feel I'm worth it, that's fine. We live in America, and you have the choice to say yes or no. But I'll tell you one thing: you get the bozo from Home Depot. I'll tell you one thing: you're not gonna be happy at the end result because they're not gonna give you exactly what you're looking for. Because these guys are all looking for numbers. I had one just yesterday's job, and we're doing the job right now. And I was very frank with her. Listen, you want me to do it? I'll be more than happy. How did you find me? I saw you on the internet, I saw you on Google, and I said, great. So if you saw me, then what's the problem? Oh, but it's expensive. I didn't expect to spend this much money. Yes, but let me explain to you why. And I showed that. I take the time to speak to her. And I showed her. And you have to understand, things don't come cheap. And I asked her, let me ask you a quick question. You want me to do it cheaper? So you work a 9-to-5 job. Do you work an extra 10 hours from the kindness of your heart to 10 hours and not be paid for it? Would you do it? Fuck you, from the kindness of your heart. No. So what makes you think I'm going to do it? So you want me to do more work and get paid zero, paid less. So let me ask you, you do overtime, put more hours and get paid less? How about they give you a fucking pay cut? Cut your you know what? Let's do it like this. You don't get nothing. How about that? Because that's how you try to treat me. Oh, no, but no, it is the same way. That's how I see it. Now, Do you send your kids to go to college to be a retard? No. So I went to school, and I didn't go to school to be a retard. So what I'm trying to say is, I went to school, I invested in myself. You're going to pay me what I'm worth. And not even just for myself. The tradesmen behind me, the one that put in experience and put in the time and educated itself. That is what you're paying for. And if you don't want to pay it, that's fine. Listen, that's why your house looks like shit. That's why your house is falling apart. And you want to ask me personally, I'm going to tell you straight up that most people want to, because that's in the corporate world, you got to keep your mouth shut, don't say nothing. That's how it is. And me, that's the beauty about working myself. I'm like, listen, I don't give a fuck about your house. You don't give a shit about me, I could care less, and I really don't give a damn. That's it. You don't give a shit about my kids, you don't give a shit about me, you don't. You really don't. That's the honest truth. And I'm okay with that. So to reciprocate, I don't give a damn about your fucking boiler, your air conditioning, if you don't understand. That's the reason why your shit is falling apart. That's the reason why it hasn't been maintained, and that's why it's costing more money. You got nobody but to blame but yourself. So have a good day. And when you're so funny, a lot of times I talk to them like that. I don't know what it is. Louie, no. You're right. I don't want to be right, but you're right. You know what? I'm sorry. Sometimes they get they get pissed off at me. They don't like to hear the truth. They don't call me. But a lot of them do call me back. And they tell me, you know what, Louie? You're right. And the other guy couldn't do it. All right. I bite the bullet. I'm going to pay it. I need to get it done. But when it's all said and done, guess what? They're happy. They say, you know what? You're right. And I tell them, listen, it's one less headache. Think of it like this. It's one less headache off your plate you got to worry about. When you go to the lawyer, and the lawyer is going to say, listen, it's going to cost you extra money. Like, damn, it's a lot of money. But I guarantee, as long as he's guaranteeing that he's going to solve your problem, that's what you should give a shit about. Yeah, it cost me extra amount of dollars, but he's guaranteeing that he's going to take care of the problem. That's what you want to hear. And I'm going to tell him, I guarantee that I'm going to solve this problem. Otherwise, you don't pay me. And when I look him in the eye, and I'm confident when I'm telling them, I tell them, but I'm going to do it this way. If I do my job, you pay me double. And if I don't do my job, you pay me zero. So how about that? And I look him in the eye. Oh no, you're right. No, I don't want to do a bet with you because I think you're gonna take my money. I'm like, you're damn right I'm gonna take your fucking money because I'm good at it. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody thinks playing soccer is easy. All right, go run fucking laps like Messi does, and then see if you can kick that soccer ball the same way he does it. He's just playing a sport, right? He's just kicking a ball, but you can't do it. So that's the point. You can't do what I do. I don't give a shit how many YouTube videos you watch. You ain't gonna do it. You can't because you don't have the experience.
Yeah.
You're not sure. And that's just the way it goes. And I love it. And that's what I tell people. You gotta be confident in what you do. You're confident. Listen, I grab him by the ball. I look him in the eye, and the minute I grab him in the eye, and I tell him what I tell him, and start going like this, I know I got him. And that's it. And I tell him, listen, how many people know and tell you what I tell you? And I'm willing to put it in writing, and I write it for you. But you're gonna pay me double if I do it. And you see how quickly that conversation changes. You know, Louie, nah. You're right. Let's do it this way. Let's do it that way, and that's fine. But I thought you wanted to shake my hand and make this bet because you know, 5 minutes ago you were chewing me down. You sure? Listen, I'm giving you the opportunity right now that if I don't do it, you don't pay me. But if I come on top, you know what's gonna happen. It's called the cantazo. You know what the cantazo is? The cantazo right here. So you're gonna pay up. And
it's funny you brought. Go ahead.
Because I think people respect you more just being transparent. If you give transparency, at least it works for me. I think people appreciate that. Be like, you know, you cut the bullshit out and tell right to the point. I think at least it works for me. I can't say for everybody, but it works for me.
I think you folks up north, I've heard people say on other YouTube channels actually how you folks up north are y'all are a little more direct. That you can be like, you know, a little more brash and almost just kind of, you know, like
you can say, you can be
say you're being stupid right now. You know, you can, that doesn't fly down south. You know, you've almost got to kind of kill them with kindness. Whereas up north, you guys feel like y'all are a little more direct with one another.
Yeah, listen, people say, oh, you could be an asshole. Oh, yeah, I could be an asshole. I think everybody could be an asshole. But yeah, I could be an asshole. You have to be because the thing is, if you're too nice, people take advantage. If you're too much of a dick, it's got to be a fine line. And I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be an asshole. I really don't. I like being cool. I like going on with everybody. But sometimes people get that out of you. But the minute you become that person, the whole shit changes. Now they respect you more. They look at you more. Listen, I'm going to tell you another story. I went to do a job by Central Park West years ago. And this guy has money up the ass. It's very obvious. He lives right by Central Park. And you know he was upset at me when I got there? He was upset at me because I got there late. I got there half an hour late or 45 minutes late, and I told him. And he was pissed off. And I told him, bro, you know what the fuck you live at? You live in the fucking worst part of Manhattan, worst part of New York. And then on top of it, I say, fine, I'm here. Let's get the job done. I go over there. He hires somebody that screwed up, and I see it right away. And he told me pay them. They put the part in. They never wired. They never hooked it up. They just put like a dummy. And I'm looking at this guy, and he's telling me all these problems. So after I wait till he finishes, and I tell him. And I explain to him. And every time I try to explain to him, he cuts me off. Not once, 2, 3, 4 times. And I was at the point like, this guy's really pissing me off. I see his cleaning lady, his babysitter, all the people in the back. No, don't do it. They're scared of him. And I tell the guy, I forgot his name, but I tell him, listen, bro, I'm going to tell you something. No disrespect. I got to tell you something, and please don't take it the wrong way. But something you need to know how to shush. And then he's like, man, I told him, I know you got to shush. I'm like, you know what shush mean, right? I'm sure you went to elementary school. So then he did it. He did it for a little while, and then he started like 10 minutes later, he started with the same shit again. And at the end, I told him, listen, brother, I don't want to be disrespectful because this is your house, and I'll never be disrespectful to somebody's house. But something I got to tell you because it's something like driving me nuts. Yo, something you need to learn to shut the fuck up. Something need to shut the fuck up and listen. Because I'm trying to explain to you the problem, and that's why I told him. It was pissing me off. Listen, you want me to fix the problem? No problem. You don't want to if you think you know it all, then do it your fucking self. Because I'm trying to explain to you something. You cut me up like 20 times. Your guy's afraid of you. They tell me to open my mouth. I'm going to open my mouth because I'm not afraid of you. I'm telling you, this is wrong, and I'm going to show you why. This, and this is what the guys did. The problem you're telling me, instead of you fucking cutting me off, let me show you. It's right here. They never wired it. They never installed it correctly. He put it as a dummy. And then he shut up for like 5 minutes, like a pause, like, like, damn, this guy, he's right. And he respected me more. But he was still pissed off at me. He pissed on me because he's like, you know what? Like, he was still pissed on me because he had a grudge because I still showed up late. And then he wanted to pay me. And of course, the side of me that they don't want to see is the side that I don't want to be, but I'm going to be that guy. No, you're going to fucking pay me, bro. Or call the cops, whatever, but I'm not leaving here without paying because I ain't work for fucking, his wife had to come his kid and they told me that that's his MO. That I'm so sorry, that's the way he is, and whatever. I'm like, why? And like, so he called me again. It's funny, like this guy almost like he likes to be a masochist. I'm like, bro, you don't have to call me again. I don't even want your fucking business. I don't even want to deal with you anymore. I don't. Every time he called me, the price goes higher, 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 higher. And he was still willing to pay, but I just didn't want to do it because I was just so disgusted with him that the money didn't even matter to me. I just like, bro, I don't even want your fucking business. I don't. You're such a dick and you're such an asshole that I don't even want to deal with you. That's why the people that you talk to, that you downgrade and you feel you're better because you have money, that's why they do the shit you do. That's why. So when you do the right things, most of the time people do the right things and reciprocate. But when you're an asshole, people will give you exactly what you are. And I'm going to give you exactly what it is. Your wife and your kid knows that, and they're kind to me, and they give me a tip, and you're an asshole because I was late because I told you ahead of time is a window because where you at. But at the end, he still called me, but at the end, he also realized that I didn't want to do business with him anymore. And I even told his assistant, I don't care if he has a fucking, I'm not interested. This guy's just an asshole, and he's going to make me wrong, or he's going to run me off the wrong way like he did, and I'm going to tell him to basically go fuck himself. And the thing is, because he has a lot of money, people are afraid of him, and they're not going to tell him, but I'm going to be that guy. And maybe my mouth's going to get me in trouble, but I'm done dealing with people like that. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're going to talk down to me and make me feel like shit. At least not in front of everybody. Not to me, or you shouldn't do it to anybody. But you're definitely not going to do it to me. Because I'm going to be the one got the cojones to tell you straight up, go fuck yourself. And I did that to him. And you know what? He gave me respect at the end. And it's not something I was necessarily looking for like that way. But the point is, sometimes you got to grab your balls and you got to be a little bit more a certain way. And maybe it works for certain situations, not all the time, because it makes it worse. But you got to know when time to do it. But some people need to understand that. And that's what I say, like, yeah, you come off like that. But when you're transparent right to the point, people respect you more. At least from my experience, it's been like that. I'm a little rough in the edges. Yeah. I'm being honest with you. I don't have a college education, but I'm from the streets. That's what I learned. But I also know I like love. I like to give love, and I want people to show me respect and love as well. And you know what? You got me on that side, my man. I'll jump as high as you want me to jump, as long as you show me respect and love. That's all I ask for. You know what I mean? Respect me, respect my great brothers.
I don't think I've ever told someone to go F themselves, but
oh, bro,
I have
said them a lot of times.
I have told a few folks that, if they get ugly, especially over no reason, like there are times when I've had customers that, they show their teeth and I'm like, you know what? I get it. We messed up. I'm going to let you vent. And I'm going to say, I'm going to even go so far as to say, I deserve what you're giving me right now. Right. There's times when I try to have that empathy, but there's been a few times where, they push a little too hard, and I've never told them to go F themselves, but I remember telling one guy in particular, I think you got me confused with somebody else because I want your business, but I don't need your business.
Right,
And
exactly,
this,
exactly.
I'm telling you right now, I can already tell that 6 months from now, we're going to, have a problem, and I don't want to have a problem. So I don't need your money. Why don't we just go ahead and part ways? Why don't you go ahead and call somebody else?
Oh, I can
You
tell you
know,
how many times I tell you, you need the money better than me, so you can keep it. I don't want to do it. I'm not remotely interested in doing business with you at all. I don't. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna put up with that bullshit. That's for sure. And then, and the best one I tell you when the guys get stupid. What the fuck? You think I'm your fucking wife? You think I'm your son? Who the fuck you think this is? And when you do it in front of their wife and kids, they feel embarrassed because everybody's a tough guy. I had one guy that I never forget. The reason why I don't forget of this one guy, because I didn't have to say nothing. His wife blew him up. He told me, "You're so expensive." He's a firefighter, New York City firefighter. He said, "I would never pay for that." Meanwhile, he forgot that he used me last year. His wife called me and he used me, and I took care of it. Long story short, it was around when Trump was going into office, and this guy is like, "Oh my God, can I stand Trump?" But it has nothing to do with. I just happened to go in at the wrong place at the wrong time. So I go in to fix the boiler. The guy is watching the debate, and this guy is like, He's like, "I can't stand Trump and Trump this and Trump that." And I'm listening to him, but I'm not paying attention. I'm here to fix the boiler. And then it just happened to come to the point that I was telling him, "Listen, I found the problem, how much it is." "What? How much? Are you out of your mind?" And he started going crazy on me. I'm like, "Listen, brother, like, I'm not screaming at you, but I'm trying to explain to you something." "No, I would never pay for that. I never." I'm like, "Listen, I'm giving you a special right now. This is what normally would be, and this is what it will be now because I'm gonna have a special, and this is the promotion we're doing. So if you want to do it, this is what it'll be." So he's screaming, yelling top of his lungs. And the funny thing is, 5 minutes after that, his wife comes down the stairs. "No, honey, I got the receipt right here. He's right. We paid this last year, and this is what it is." Yo, the expression on his face was priceless because I didn't have to say nothing. His wife blew him up in front of me, and it almost embarrassed him. So he looked at me, but like, but I'm like, "But nothing, bro. Your wife told you. I don't got to tell you shit. Now I got to keep my mouth shut. Just listen to your wife." And his wife was like, "No, that's what it is." At the end, he had the paper. He was pissed, and I think he was more pissed of his wife because his wife said, "No, honey, he's right. We paid more last year. He gave us a discount this year." And it wasn't even that much money. It was like maybe like $100 difference. It wasn't even that big of a difference. But this guy was so pissed off, and I never forget that. He reminded me of that. That shit was funny, but he was just so pissed off at the world. I think he was pissed off with Trump. He was pissed off at everything, and he was just taking out on me. But I told him. But the minute the wife came at the right time. It was like almost like it was on cue. She came in, and her facial expression, she was just like, "No, honey, he's right." Man, that was.
well,
If I had that on camera, I would have loved it because it was priceless.
let's take a quick second, and I'm going to, just so if you're watching this, just know that I'm going to ask Luis a tough question in just a moment. So you get ready, Luis. This is a tough one. I'm gonna hit you with in just a second.
It's okay.
Okay. But for the rest of you, if you're here in the chat, do me a favor. And we all know there's some bad apples out there. There's some Luis has even talked about a few of them tonight. If you know a good apple, so if you know a good heating and air company, a good electrician, a good plumber, do me a favor, drop their name in the chat and where they're located. Let's show them some love. And you never know, somebody in your area might call them and you might show them a little more than love. That said, just to reiterate, we're gonna I'll get to that in just a minute. So here's the question, Luis. As folks, again, if you're here in the chat, drop those names in there. My question is, it's usually the question I ask everybody, last question, and that is, if mom's about to buy a heating and air system, what's the one piece of advice you're giving her so that way she doesn't make a mistake?
One piece of advice what I give somebody is do your due diligence, do your research. And not just on me, and you should have three estimates. Nothing wrong with that. I think that's standard. And do due diligence and read. Don't always go about the number. Read and feel confident who you're going to hire. It don't have to be me. It'll be great to be me. I appreciate it, but it don't have to be me because there's other people out there that are just as confident and good as me as well. So pick somebody that you feel confident you feel that you have a connection with, and then you feel that that person will do the right thing and see, see their work, see their, see their portfolio, see whatever it is, because people just go based on numbers. Oh, he's the cheapest. Cheapest is not always the way, guys. Or in this case. And I tell her, please look at my work, but look at other people's work, and you have an understanding. And because the question is, when you're doing an installation, why is this one 15, this one is 12, and this is 25? You're doing the same thing. And I'm like, well, there's something missing, because there's obviously something's wrong. So let me go with you and let me show you. But I would tell them definitely do their research, because a lot of people, I feel like they don't. And at least if they do their research, it does a lot of things. Number one, it kind of breaks the ice. They have an understanding that this is not, maybe they assume the budget was $5,000. That's going to tell them that their budget is not enough, or, all right, this is what the going rate is. It can't be a coincidence that people that don't know each other, 4 different companies don't know each other, that this one says 10, this one says 11, this one says 9, and then the other company says, I could do it for 1,000. I mean, those are things that, and if it's too good to be true, usually it is. So that's what I say. Because just because you see it on the internet doesn't mean they're legit. People do a lot of scams out there. Just be very careful.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time, man. And it looks like there's, just the hustle and bustle going on in the background there. So I do appreciate you taking time out to hang out with us tonight.
Listen, man, I appreciate you, all the fans out there, all the people watching, because this is what it's about. Networking, getting to know people, taking the time to meet people. Why not? I think it's a beautiful thing. That's what we need more and more every single day in this world is love. And spreading the word. And there's so much hate and anger and animosity going on today that there's no need for that. You spread love, help other people. You get so much with love and so much with doing the right thing and just helping somebody else. And you'd be surprised how far that goes. So that goes in all ways. Doesn't necessarily have to be in HVAC and plumbing. Doesn't anything. So I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody and anybody that supports me. But most importantly, guys, you know what time it is? Subscribe to the Louie the Boiler Man channel. That's right. Or just Google me, because you'll find me very quickly. Louie, the Boiler Man. Wepa.
I love it. Don't go anywhere, Luis. We're gonna sign off in just a moment, but don't you go anywhere. That said, for the rest of you, thank you for your support. As Luis said, please hit that subscribe button. Go to his channel. If you just type in Louie the Boiler Man, you should be able to find it there and hit that subscribe button. That said, again, we'll be back next week with an amazing guest. He is one of the top trainers in the nation, and he's been going around the nation talking about these new A2L refrigerants, and he'll be our guest next week. If you find us on the podcast, do me a favor. We're going to try to grow that out. Go ahead and leave us a review. Hopefully it's a good review. I don't care if it's good or bad. Just leave us a review of some kind. And then also click that subscribe or follow button, whatever, they call it on that program. That said, we'll be back next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you then. In the meantime, make it a great week. Take care.